me invite you to take your seats again. And hello, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all. Thank you all for being here. My name is Howard Gillman. I am the Chancellor of the University of California, Irvine. Thank you very much. Along with my old friend, Erwin Chemerinsky, who you will hear from later, I co-chair the wonderful National Advisory Board for this center. My task here is to do a lightning talk. It's a burst of energetic electric illumination that will be over before you know it, and hopefully no one gets struck. So my lightning talk is on the topic of how are recent debates about campus free speech different this time around than debates that we have seen in previous decades. There are many opinions about this. One popular theory puts the blame squarely on the shoulders of coddled students who feel entitled to completely supportive environments and thus prefer censorship of distressful, uncomfortable, or challenging speech. Whatever you think of the phenomenon of helicopter or snow plowing parenting, I think emphasizing this explanation is misguided or at least incomplete. I've spent many years now teaching an undergraduate course every single year on this topic. I've spoken to thousands of undergraduates on my campus and around the country, and I can testify that by far the vast majority of these students, they are not scared, they are not frail youngsters looking only for comfort and self-validation. There is more going on, and so in my lightning talk, here are 6 major differences that distinguish contemporary debates from earlier debates. First, it is true that this generation appropriately has a heightened commitment to inclusivity and a heightened sensitivity to bullying and other harmful speech, especially in educational environments. Why shouldn't they? After all, we have raised them to support anti-bullying campaigns and to participate in school-organized tolerance weeks. They can all testify to the harms caused by dismissive and demeaning speech. We have taught them to expect that people should be treated with respect and to not pick on the less powerful or the less popular. These are good values. More people should practice them. These are the sort of values that make society better. We should admire them, not mock them for embracing these values. Second, campuses are more diverse now than they were in past years. And so more people can testify personally to the very real harms associated with demeaning, dismissive, or offensive speech. This means that the conversation about speech norms on campus is inclusive of more voices than it used to be. This is also a good thing, even if it complicates the lives of free speech advocates by forcing them to engage directly with those students who often bear the brunt of hateful and dehumanizing speech. Third, while it's true that more students have these values and that this issue of inclusion and a non-discriminatory learning environment is a more salient issue now than it was in the past, it is also the case that over a long period of time, the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights has encouraged investigations of campuses that permit speech that some members of the campus community consider assaultive or exclusionary. Northwestern felt it was obligated to investigate Professor Laura Kipnis after some students complained about an article she wrote in the Chronicle of Higher Education criticizing campus policing of sexual relationships, with some women students viewed as creating a hostile environment for women. There are many such examples. This is not frail students seeking comfort. This is the federal government saying to campuses that allowing some free speech events may be illegal under federal anti-discrimination law. That is also part of the context. Fourth, all of these are about this heightened sense of creating inclusive, non-discriminatory learning environments. So while students are committed to principles of inclusion, they do also come to campus with a serious deficit in civic education. And so their instincts in favor of inclusion are not balanced by other considerations of value. We teach them tolerance, but not constitutionalism and the conditions that sustain democracy. And if free speech norms are not taught, we should not expect them to emerge spontaneously. There is no natural intuition to protect speech that one abhors. An appreciation of these norms requires actual civic education in history and political science. And by the way, it is not only students who lack this civic knowledge or who are less supportive of democratic norms. That brings me to the fifth point. our polarized political environment. It encourages everyone to treat viewpoint discrimination not as a normal condition of democratic politics, but as a genuine threat that must be resisted. In other words, we are debating campus speech in a political environment that is also intolerant of much speech, such that the political system is not modeling better behavior and is often modeling worse behavior. And for what it's worth, my experience is that most students are more open to engagement in debate than the average adult who attends a political rally. Sixth, we've never debated before these issues within our current social media environment, which allows interested parties to find or manufacture an outrage at any time, which creates a false impression of persistent and widespread crisis, even when problems are small and isolated, which allows parties interested in inflaming these debates to create and circulate fake news about conditions on campuses, which encourages a call-out culture that results in self-censorship, and which brings to otherwise quiet campuses a culture of trolling that is designed merely to enrage and provoke responses. Although this has been happening less often as college Republicans are moving away from the Milo brand, which is why you've seen fewer explosive events on campuses in the last year. So if we leave it to the culture wars to debate campus speech, then we will not make progress. If we think that the best solution to ongoing challenges is shaking our fingers at presumptively frail students, then we will not make much progress. It is our hope in the UC National Center for Free Speech and Civic Engagement that we can do what great universities should be doing about this issue, engaging in high-level research, teaching, debate, and outreach so that we can deepen our understanding of the issues and identify the best paths forward.